up, guys? Welcome back to yet another video. I told you guys that I was going to come back and see the thumbnail, you see the title. I'm going to be talking about my coming out story. Yeah, I guess it's my coming out story while I build some Legos. I was going to build the GT3RS that I have, but now it's going to take a little bit longer and I have just 1 hour. It is 1:02 right now and I'm on my break, on my lunch. I'm on my lunch. It is 1:02. So I'm on my lunch right now, and I found this small one that Carla had got me. Carla's my wife. So I got this small one because it's just a couple of pieces versus the other ones. Let me show you guys. So, backstory: we bought a bunch of Legos before we moved out. Just over time, like we bought them because we like Legos, but we didn't want to build them before moving out because we figured they're gonna get messed up either way when we moved. Don't mind these were just title scissors that I had on top of them from my steering wheel, from my car. But we have this one. She got me this one. Very nice. It's a GT3RS. However, like I said, it would take a little bit more time to build this one versus this one because clearly it's bigger. We have this one actually from Halloween last year that we didn't finish building. We built the other Halloween one that we bought. We bought like a spider type looking thing. So, yeah. I should make a thumbnail like that. Like, building all these Legos while we talk about transgender stuff. So we have this one. This one her friend actually gave us as a housewarming gift, as a part of her housewarming gift to us. And it was so cute because she knows we're doing YouTube. We also have a couples channel I haven't mentioned in this video like I mentioned in every other video. We do have a couples channel. So if you guys want to follow that one, go ahead. And subscribe to that one, go ahead. So she got us this because she knows we love Legos. So shout out to her. There's that. And then last but not least, the holy of all grails. This one. This one Carla got me when I got my first job after graduating, to celebrate me because why not? She got me this. It's a GT4, I believe. Yeah, GT4. Very nice. It drives, so that's really cool. So yeah, I have yet to build it. I've been employed there for like almost 2 years now. So that's how long it's been since she gave it to me. But I'm finding like the right time where I have like downtime to build all this stuff. And that hasn't happened yet. So for now, we'll do the small one. But for thumbnail's sake, I'm gonna go ahead and do the thumbnail real quick, guys. So let's get started. Hopefully I don't like mumbo jumbo everything into like. Hopefully I don't get just like lost with my words and stuff because I start to like ramble a lot. What is this? Stickers? I start to ramble a lot and I forget what I'm talking about to begin with. Wow. Okay, it's gonna be quicker than I thought. Can you guys even see? What's up, guys? So I filmed this whole video. I was like, oh, come talk to me about being trans while I built a Lego. I thought I pressed record. Turns out, I was just talking to myself the whole time. So here we are again. I have to re-record the video. It has been 30 minutes past. But oh well, we're just going to redo it. You guys didn't see this get built. You guys will see the intro, but then you'll see this because I clearly forgot to record. And just some backstory. I usually film with the FX30, I have the FX30, I have the A7 III, whatever. I have different cameras, but I decided to record on the DJI. And I turned off the sound volume thingy when you click record and it makes like a dun. I turned that off. So, and I knew I had turned it off, so I was like, oh, okay, like I pressed it and I was like, okay, it's good. It wasn't good because it wasn't recording. And I have it to where the screen can turn off after a certain time. So I thought it was just like, fine, I was recording. I was not. And now that I am recording, I can see it has a red button that's going off, and that's how I know it's recording. But anyway, that's besides the point. Let's talk about how I found out I was trans and how tough it was, because it was tough. It was tough to come to terms with, but nonetheless, I'm here and I'm queer, so let's talk about it. Let's go back to Indiana circa, no, I'm playing. Let's go back to maybe, let's see, where did I start the story off 30 minutes ago? 5th grade. Let's go all the way back to 5th grade, guys. So, in 5th grade, I was very much a tomboy. Before that, I wasn't. I was kind of just dressing how my mom dressed me. But 5th grade, she gave me like liberty to dress however I wanted. So, and I'm not saying she forced me to dress any other way before that. I'm just saying like I kind of wanted to tell her like, yeah, I want to dress on my own, and she did let me. So, and she did let me. So I started wearing very tomboyish clothes, and that's when I really got the questions from people. The whole, are you a boy or a girl? And I was just like, I'm a girl. How could I possibly be a boy if I was born a girl? My mindset back then, right? My mindset back then. So I was like, how can I be a boy if I was born a girl? I'm clearly a girl, even if I don't like it. And so I would always have the even if I don't like it in the back of my mind. So I would just be like, I don't like it, but I have no other choice than to live like this. And I just went by my day, I went about my life, and I slowly but surely started realizing I was a little different. Because in 5th grade, I was like, why don't I have any boy crushes? I just have girl crushes. But at that point, I was like, well, maybe they're just really good best friends, and I love them so much that I like them. But I was just like, whoa, this is weird. Like, I shouldn't be doing this. This is wrong. I've always been told it's just boy and girl. It's not girl and girl. It's not boy and boy. Like, there's no way. That's wrong. So I kind of just always went about my 5th grade year like that. And then 6th grade came along. And obviously, people went through puberty. People start liking people. That's just normal. So I started liking girls. And I was like, oh my God, what is this? Like, what is this? No idea what it was. I was like, maybe they're just super close best friends with me. Then I just love them so much and so dearly. I don't know. I don't know what I thought. But then I met a friend in 7th grade. And she told me she was bisexual. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean? I didn't know what it was. I was completely lost. I was like, well, what is bisexual? And she explained it to me, and I was in awe, genuinely. I was like, what? You can like girls. You can like girls is what you're telling me. So you could be with a girl, and there's no issue. Like, nobody's going to come for you. Nobody's going to tell you anything. Come to find out, obviously, everybody tells you something when they're against it. So I was like, this is cool. But even then, I kind of just, brushed it off my shoulder, and I was like, no, that's not me. Like, kudos to her, she figured herself out, but I don't think I'm bisexual. I kept trying to, date around, and I was like, oh, this boy seems fun, or this guy seems nice, and yeah, they were all nice and cool, but at the end of the day, I didn't like any of them. I wanted to be them really badly, and I think I wanted to just be in a relationship to prove to everybody, like, oh, I like boys, but no, guys, I didn't, and I don't, and it wasn't it. I found myself wanting to be the guy. I found myself wanting to get him flowers. I found myself just wanting to do what the guys do for girls. So I always was just like, this is not how it's supposed to be. Like, you can get guys flowers. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just in the sense that I wanted to take their place almost and be what they were being to me. Even though they're all full of it. But obviously they're 7th graders, so whatever. But in that same 7th grade year, I had made the decision to kind of let myself be. And by that I meant I didn't find. Oh my God, that sounds like I just found her in the Lost and Found or something. But no, I was friends with this one girl that ended up being my girlfriend. So that was my first peek into queer love. I had got with her. We were very secretive, obviously, about this because we knew that it was not okay, not acceptable. There's not necessarily that it wasn't okay, but we had the idea that socially it wouldn't be acceptable. Even at that young age, we knew that it wasn't okay in other people's eyes. So we kind of just kept it under wraps. But people would still ask us, especially bullies. This one girl in particular, I remember in the locker room always asking me, "Are you a lesbian? Are you a lesbian? Are you this? Are you that?" I'm like, girl, shut up. And it would get me so upset. She would talk to me, So my girlfriend at the time would try to cheer me up and hey, it's fine. Just ignore it. It doesn't even matter, this and that. And I always appreciated her for that because she never made me feel different. She was just like, okay, we're both kind of getting scrutinized for this, but I'm going to make sure you're okay. And so we always made sure we were okay. We're always there for each other. And that glimpse of queer love is so adorable to me, just looking back. Because I was like, wow, we figured ourselves out at a very young age, and we were okay with it, even though we knew that people around us didn't really like it. So I just look back and I tell my wife, and I talk to my wife about this a lot because we like to talk about queer relationships. We like to just have conversations, really good conversation about how I was figuring it out, how it was for us knowing that other people think that it's wrong and all that stuff. So I'm very open with her, and we talked about this. It was 7th, 8th grade, so it was back in the day. But what is it called? Yeah, I told her about queer love. It was such a beautiful thing to experience at a very young age, just being wow, this is what being free feels like. So we were together for 7th and 8th grade. We did have a falling out. I don't remember what it was. Friendship wise, we didn't. It was just we broke up. And I think I did that, and I think I did it out of fear. I broke up with her. I don't remember, guys. I'm not even gonna lie, I don't remember now. we're so mutual, we're so friends. So nothing went like completely wrong, and obviously we were kids, so it was just, you know. But yeah, we figured ourselves out, and we went our own ways in high school. We were on the same team, soccer team, so we were still friends, and I've always respected and loved her, like, to this day. So yeah, because of her, I was able to figure myself out, and I felt great finding out that I was queer and that I was different from others. But I didn't know as to what extent I was different. I knew I liked girls, but I also knew I didn't enjoy being called a girl. I didn't like being called a lesbian, not because I thought it was wrong, but because I didn't feel like a girl. So I was like, why? I don't want to be a lesbian. I just want to be me. And I think it also comes with like labels. I don't like being labeled either. But so I was like, no, I'm not. And then eventually, in ninth grade, I came across, like, literally, I think the summer going to ninth grade, I came across this video on Instagram of this trans guy, like, doing a tea update. He was like, 1 day on tea, 3 weeks on tea, 1 month on tea, 2 months on tea. And I was like, what tea are you drinking, brother? Like, is this chamomile tea? Like, a green apple? What is it? Like, what tea are you taking? What tea are you drinking? For, like, your voice to sound so great, for your face to look different. Like, what is that? Come to find out, obviously, clearly, it wasn't a drinking tea. It was medically transitioning, so I didn't know that, but that was my first glimpse of a trans person. I was like, whoa, this is cool. So then I started, like, doing research, looking at different trans guys, trans women, and I was like, I think I'm trans. Like, I'm connecting with this right now. But then I also, like, read a bunch of negativity that came with that. And so at the same time, I was scared, and I was like, no, I'm not trans. There's no way I'm trans. I can't be trans. This is wrong. People are saying it's wrong. You can't change from one to the other. If you were born a certain way, you are that way for the rest of your life. So that's what I thought for a while, and it made me miserable because I was like, I'm in denial. Like, I can't be this. This is wrong according to society. But it got to a point in ninth grade, like mid-ninth grade, where I was like, no, I'm transgender, and that's like a for sure thing. There is no other way around it. I'm trans and I'm trans. So I came out to some really close friends of mine, and I told them, guys, I'm transgender. And I believe one of them cried with me. I don't remember which one, but I remember tears happening, and they were just happy for me. And they were like, you know, do you want to change your name? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And I tried the whole name change. I tried the whole, all of that stuff. But for me, it wasn't meant to be, to change my name. I really like my name. I was born with Delay. I stick with Delay to this day, and I like my name. To me, it's just a name. So I really liked it, so I kept it. So, but at the time, they were trying the different names with me. They were just being so accepting and loving and kind. And it was after I came out to them that I felt a little bit free, because I was like, oh, okay, at least somebody knows I'm letting it out. So I let it out to them, and I started doing my research. Like, I was just like sports bras, tight enough to like flatten chest, this and that. But I, obviously at the time, it was ninth grade. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a different address to send stuff to. So I was like, how can I get binders? Or how can I get tape? Binding tape. And there was no way, obviously, around it. So I would grab duct tape. And I don't advise to do this at all, guys. If you're trans, non-binary, even lesbian, whatever you may be, and you feel like you just want to flatten your chest, for the love of God, do not tape your chest. Do not use duct tape. Do not use any tape at all. If it's not KT tape, if it's not binding tape, please do not use duct tape. I used duct tape. I would wrap it around my chest over and over and over until it was completely fat. I remember like almost being suffocated. It hurt so bad. My ribs just felt so tender all the time because my freaking rib cage and everything like was just being squished by tape. I remember it was like tan tape, and it was painter's tape. I would just wrap it around as much as I could, and it was painful. It was so painful, but at the same time, I felt like in my eyes there was beauty in the pain. I felt like I looked really good, even though it was so painful. And then at that point, I couldn't do tape anymore, so I found ace bandages that I would use for my ankle when I would play soccer, and I was like, perfect, which again, do not use, guys. Do not use that. It's not safe. I'd wrap my chest with the ace bandages, and no, guys, it hurt so bad. It was unbearable. It was just not it. I remember also constantly adding tape so that it would stay. It wasn't it. I wasn't happy at all. And then it came to a point where I did more research about binders, and there was actually this company giving away binders at the time for people who needed them. So I got two, a black one and a white one. And lo and behold, those are my first binders, and I still have them to this day. They're ripped up and they're used, but they're washed, obviously. And I keep them in my closet just as, I don't know, it's just a memory to me because it brings back so many emotions that I felt back in the day when it came to, coming out and stuff. So I kept them. I remember wearing those binders. Guys, the first time I wore one, oh my gosh, I remember it was the black one I tried on. I felt, oh man, I feel like I still feel those emotions to this day. It was amazing. I felt on top of the world. I felt like myself. I felt more confident. Even though I had really long hair at the time. I wore buns and everything. I had really long hair. I felt like affirmed with my gender in some way. I felt like a boy at the time, obviously, a teenage guy, whatever you want to call it. But obviously I didn't pass well. I had really long hair. My voice was still, very girly. It did bring some type of happiness to have that binder because it was just completely flat, and I was really happy with that. So yeah, as years passed in high school, I was like, okay, I'm definitely transgender. Like, when can I cut my hair? So I remember cutting my hair short, but not like buzzed off on the sides. It was just like short. But I managed to some way somehow always get like a frick ton of gel and just gel the sides, gel the back. So it would literally be all pointy right here, like because of how long my hair was. It would be all pointy. And I would just slick back this, and the top would just be left like full, and it looked like a boy haircut, guys. I just tried to do anything that I could to figure out how to make myself look more like a boy. And so that's what I did. I gelled the sides, I gelled the bottom, and so you just see the fluff on here, and in some sense it looked so like good. And then during soccer games I'd wear like a headband right here, so you could just see the hair on the top, and it just looked like, it just looked like a boy. I know I keep like sighing and being like, damn, like looking back, but it's because, guys, it's a lot of emotions, and it's a lot to talk about. Just thinking about my story and stuff, and trans people have really interesting stories, so this is mine. So yeah, I like talking about mine. So yeah, and then by the end of senior year, I had gotten a perm, and I was able to shave off all of this. So I just left the top with curls, and guys, I was so happy at that point. I was so happy. I hadn't medically transitioned, but I was so happy, guys. Like, I can't even begin to express the happiness that I felt just knowing I was becoming myself. And then when it came to me turning 18, that's like when I told my parents. I was like, I'm transgender. So yeah, and that's that story's for a different time. That one's really long, but for the meantime, just to kind of cut it short, because I am at 1:45 and my lunch is over. My lunch is over at 2, guys. Yeah, so I was able to cut my hair. I told my parents, told them this and that. I did gender therapy and hormones. So yeah, I was able to get on hormones, and I changed. Obviously, there was a lot of changes, and a lot of people were like, whoa, this is so different. Like, this is weird. And I lost a lot of people in the process, and it was a very lonely process. But I lost a lot of people. And back then it hurt. But now that I'm at the age that I am and looking back, I'm glad they left, because I don't think they were good people in my life either way. So transitioning on my own and being alone and doing that journey alone, it kind of brought me closer to myself, and it made me love myself even more because I understood my struggle. So yeah, then I just kept doing what I needed to do. I was being me, learning more about myself. At some point, I gave into a lot of toxic masculinity because of some people around me, and I wanted to be like them. Nasty, I know. I wanted to be very like, oh, I got girls here, there, and that just, it didn't feel right. It just felt so weird because it wasn't me, to want to have like, oh, girlfriend this, girlfriend that. No, they weren't even girlfriends, they were just like flings, but I didn't like it. It was very weird to do what cis guys do. And I'm not saying trans guys don't do that, but it's just my influence came from cis guys. Then when I kind of just started going more along in my journey, I figured to just I just figured I was better off being myself. So I went back to being, the soft person that I was, that everybody was like, hey, you're too soft, you're too this. I just like being who I am, So I am a little bit softer, I guess, or I'm just a lot more respectful, I guess, than other people. And that's why I think it's just soft. Yeah, I am just a lot more gentle. I am a lot more soft. I am obviously I have more feminine-like mannerisms than obviously the traditional guy would, but that's fine. I mean, I've come to love and accept every single part of me. So yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah, that was my story of figuring out how I was trans. I don't really know how else to put it, but that's how I figured out I was trans, guys. I slowly just evolved as a person, I guess. So I went from just knowing that I was a tomboy to 6th grade being like, oh, bisexual was a thing, cool. And then I got to 7th and 8th, I had my first girlfriend, and then 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th is really where everything spread out, and that's where I really learned about being transgender and coming to terms with that and learning about the processes, learning about everything, and now I'm here. Now I have top surgery. Now I've been medically transitioned for 5 years, hitting 6 years this year, so it's really crazy. Time has flown. I've been happier. Oh my god, guys. Gender affirming care genuinely does save lives. I feel better than I ever have in my life. So yeah, guys, that was my figuring out I was trans story. If you guys want a video talking about like my top surgery and all that stuff, I can do that too. I didn't record much. I regret not recording a lot. It was just a very chaotic time in my life, and it was very much a very quick recovery. I had to get myself up and going because I had to get back to work because I had been at my new job for a very short amount of time, so I couldn't ask for that much time off. But that's besides the point. If you guys want a whole video on my top surgery journey, go ahead and comment down below, or even if you don't, I'll probably still make one. But yeah, guys, just stay being true to yourself. Be yourself always. Know that you are literally more than okay being yourself. So yeah, guys, that is the end of this. And I was actually recording this time. I hate that I wasn't recording when I was building this thing because it was actually like really fun to do. But I hope you enjoyed this week's video. Next week's video, I'll try to make it a little bit more interactive and stuff. Like, we'll probably go out. I'll do something fun. But I just kind of wanted to throw in a trans video because I want to just be like always completely honest with my audience, and I kind of just want to create a community that relates to me. And even if you don't relate to me, you just like watching my videos, thank you. Like I said, it won't always be trans related content. I'll also bring lifestyle into this because that's just what I want to do. But I guess I want to get all the get to know me stuff out of the way. So here are all my story times. Here's all of me getting to know all of you guys, getting to know me. But yeah, so if there's one last thing I can leave you with, it's just be yourself, guys. At the end of the day, not everybody's going to agree with you. Not everybody's going to be okay with who you are. And why should that matter to you? It shouldn't matter at all. And I know it's easy to say, you know, don't let it bother you. Because at the end of the day, sometimes it does bother people. But trust me when I say you'll get to a point where that stuff just go over your head. You won't even care anymore. But yeah, just be yourself, love yourself, be patient, care for yourself. And if you're confused, just try to figure yourself out. It's totally okay. I'm trying to remember my outro that I did in the last video, but I just forgot. Was it be happy, stay happy? No, it was be you, stay you, be happy, stay happy. Yeah, I remembered it. And then watch it be like the whole other way around, and I just completely botched it. So just take that with you guys. Be happy and stay happy, be you and stay you. I love you all. I think I just said it the complete opposite way again. Oh well, I already said it. But anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Have a good rest of your day, night, whenever you happen to be watching this. I love you very, 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 very much. Yeah, stay tuned. Oh, sorry. Stay tuned for every video every week on Wednesdays. Thanks so much. Peace. And if I end up wanting to post more, guys, I'll put more content out there for you guys. Probably like twice a week, maybe. That's not a promise. It's a maybe. But anyway, peace out.